full day's travelling of train, motorbike, walking, taxi and minibus took us from Nanning in China to the motorcycle mayhem of Hanoi. We spent the first day exploring the narrow streets and even narrower buildings of the old quarter. After a dinner overlooking the evening traffic jam, we enjoyed a performance of the Water Puppet Theatre.
Độc đáo của dân tộc Việt Nam, nhà hát chúng tôi đã từng đi biểu diễn nhiều nơi trên thế giới. Sau đây chương trình biểu diễn bắt đầu.
quân xì.
Here lies the preserved body of Ho Chi Minh. Nearby is the rather more modest dwelling he used when still alive, and the chance to enjoy a little more traditional music. The Temple of Literature is an ancient university complex. An overnight train brought us to the thick fog of Sapa, renowned for its colourful hill tribes and its beautiful scenery. During the afternoon, we walked to the nearby village of Katkat. A little more folk music in the evening, and next morning dawned clear and bright. It wasn't to last, as we set off on a full-day trek to the villages of Lao Chai and Ta Van. Recent rains made the track a bit of a challenge.
Coming side steps.
Other side, like this station because it's too long.
Back in Hanoi, we had time for a look at the Museum of Ethnology before being whisked off by minibus to Ha Long Bay. Our close encounter with Vietnamese fog was to continue. We were allowed off the boat from time to time, including this stop at an island which contained a beautiful freshwater lake. Back on the bay, we passed one of several floating villages on our way to explore the limestone caves on yet another of the islands. The water was surprisingly warm. Next morning we headed back to port, passing another village complete with floating pool hall and floating school. From Hanoi, we flew to the ancient city of Hue, where we traded the fog for incessant rain. We spent a very wet day cruising up the Perfume River, pausing briefly at various pagodas, temples and mausoleums of past emperors. A few hours south of Hue by bus is the old trading town of Hoi An. It too was suffering the effects of too much rain. A feature of the town is the old French-style buildings. Another is the vast number of tailors ready to take your measurements.
Chiều nay vẫn ngồi lãnh không ngồi nhiều ra tới cầu. Ở đây kìa, ở đây vẫn có.
We have the skin here, so you can be off the skin.
We spent a morning at the market in preparation for a lesson in the fine arts of Vietnamese cooking. Redbridge Cooking School was a short trip up the river.
And come back with this one. When we put in the top somewhere, we have to put the right side facing down, west side facing up. Big lip, lower lip, or bamboo lip, ginger lip. Put the petal lip, last one. Half inside and half outside. Redo another one. To try, use the knife, cut 3-5 really thin. Try in the sun, you might get some fried rice noodle. Fried rice noodle, what we use in Vietnam. Then, put all the vegetable little bit of this and little bit of that close to the body side. Longer and leave some extra vegetable. Little bit of this and little bit of that. The edge of the right fiber to cover the vegetable. If you fold up two sides, the edge of the right fiber to cover the vegetable. The first bite when you eat too much fresh flour in your mouth and then you feel very boring. Do you know boring? Little bit of this and leave up that. Put about 3 or 4 streaming. Moving the edge of the right fiber in the top of the vegetable. Like that. And use the 4-finger, tuck all tightly to rolling to the middle. To middle to tightly rolling to the end like you are rolling the cigarette. If you are smoking, and if you're not smoking, I have no idea. After rolling is the freshing roll, ready for eating. And when we're rolling, the dry side of my outside and the wet side are inside. See, not sticky together. Freshing roll you can cut like 2 or 3 piece, 4 piece. Eat right now. You can dip in them in the fish sauce, or soya sauce, or peanut sauce. Empty really flat like one. The more flat you're doing is the better lighter on the pentaloop angle. One cut becomes the pointed angle. And with the left hand, to soak with the pointed angle easy to broken. Like in the restaurant. Cannot stop drinking. Sorry, have to drinking every night. My doctor he tell me already. Rolling to the eye of the tomato, we might got. And can you do for my little clapping please?
Returning to town, we were still looking for indoor activities, so we took in a performance of folk music. The music continued next morning at the site of the ancient Hindu ruins of Mison. Back in Hoi An, we looked around some of the old buildings, including this trader's house and the Japanese bridge. For our last day in Hoi An, the sun decided to put in a most welcome appearance. With buses cancelled due to washed out roads, we decided to fly straight to Ho Chi Minh City. More motorcycle madness. The War Remnants Museum provided a sombre reminder of the recent past, as did a day trip to the Cu Chi tunnels.
So the same way so that people
It's
will
for
go out
eating,
make
the
a-
paper, for eating.
Yeah, for this space so far, make a spring roll.
The Viet Cong lived and worked underground. Some of us found 30 metres underground more than we could handle. Nearby was the great temple of the Cao Dai religion. We stopped off for a look at a small incense-making workshop. Another day trip took us south to the Mekong Delta with a glimpse of river and village life. The things you can do with rice. Make rice paper or pop it for puffed rice snacks. On the edges of the Mekong River are many islands divided by canals. Lunch was on one of these islands in the beautiful old home of a merchant. Back in Ho Chi Minh City, we visited the Reunification Palace. In the shopping centres, Christmas was rapidly approaching. We whiled away an afternoon watching the traffic on the Saigon River. Pre-Christmas celebrations continued in the local parks. If you find the road too tough for your motorbike, there's always the footpath. On Christmas Day, we exchanged the mad traffic of Ho Chi Minh City for the relative peace and quiet of Singapore. Orchard Road was the centre of Christmas cheer. By the afternoon of Boxing Day, we were exploring the town of Manado in North Sulawesi. After a couple of days, we were happy to be heading out to Bunaken Island for a week of diving and relaxation, tropical style. Happy New Year! It's party game time.
Okay. And then pass it on. Lalu. Kemudian.
Nothing. I was like, what?
Pass like a rugby ball.
Him and me.
The cameraman is out. The cameraman is out.
Where's mine?
Well, that's chairs now.
Not stop yet! Not stop yet!
Still running! Still running! Keep walking, guys!
Not stop yet! Keep on going! Not stop! No, not yet!
You're disqualified. That's what I'm talking about. We have slow song. I think you should. Langsung aja ya dari
In Bunaken village, the locals were still celebrating on New Year's Day. Only kids were visible on the streets. Reluctantly, we dragged ourselves away from Bunaken Island and headed back to the mainland. Here we were met by our friends the Albinas and whisked off to the village of Tumpaan.
Ikan kecil-kecil itu jawabannya. Oh, itu memang datang di pantai atau bukan?
Seharusnya itu.
It's coconut tree. Anywhere. Anywhere.
Durian. First, catch your lunch.
Enak, ya. Halo Bunaken.
While we enjoyed the delicious barbecue lunch, Some people had to keep on working despite the tropical downpour. This is the town of Amurang. Lots of local transport, the Wendy. In ancient times, this was the place in which the lands of the Minahasa people were divided between tribes, as recorded on these ancient rock carvings. With the town of Tomohon as our base, we explored the surrounding countryside, starting with the volcanic Lake Linau. The next lake on the itinerary for the following day was Lake Tondano. We managed to make lunch last for a couple of hours while we waited for the rain to ease up. Our next battle with the elements was to be a quiet stroll up the slopes of Mount Mahawu. A team of conservation workers was engaged in a reforestation project in the usual afternoon rain. From Tomohon we made our way to Bitung, stopping for a look at the tomb of Imam Bonjol, an 18th century resistance leader. Our final destination in North Sulawesi was the village of Batu Putih. Coconut palms are used for just about everything in North Sulawesi, even speed humps. The major attraction of Batu Putih is the Tangkoko Nature Reserve. We made a very early start to try to catch sight of the black macaques which live here.
And the baby. Oh, yang ini
Ya.
dari grup lain. Yang ini.
We returned to the reserve in the evening for a look at a family of tarsiers, the world's smallest primates.
Bây giờ thường được cái yết ngay đây.
Iya.
A friendly local gave us a lift back to Bitung.
Para penumpang yang dihormati sekalian, sebentar lagi kita akan berangkat selepas jika tali pinggang keledar anda sudah pun dipasang. Terima kasih.
And so we said farewell, or sampai jumpa lagi, to North Sulawesi and returned to Singapore for the last leg of the trip. Chinese New Year was almost upon us, so there was no shortage of celebrations.
A happy and prosperous Lunar New Year.
Finally, and sadly, our 3-month journey was over.